Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today we're talking about 10 things that surprised me when I arrived in the UK. So before we get to counting down, can you please like, share and subscribe so that you can continue to see more videos that I post about, my life in the UK as well as the food that I still cook. So please leave me a comment down below and tell me that you've subscribed and I will personally respond to you. So let's get down to the countdown. Number 1, English. Guys, I was so surprised because when I got here, I could not understand what people were saying. At first, I thought, whoa, is it me? And I was like, still nothing. It took me a while. It took me a while to hear and recognize the sounds because I think the UK people have different accents. So you find yourself like the sort of consonants you don't hear, the certain words they don't say. Like if somebody's saying, "Can I have a bottle of water?" she'll be like, "Can I have a bottle of water?" And I was like, "Sorry, what?" And that's one of the advices I gave my husband when he came later to join me. Like, don't worry, don't feel dumb. It's just the thing with the English language. When you get here, you don't get to hear what they're saying. Like you struggle quite a bit, but in time you get to you get used to the language. You can actually hear them, and the issue of English extends to the vocabulary. Guys, for me, I arrived here around about October, so it was towards Christmas. So as you get to the Christmas period, Christmas is one of those festivities in the UK, like so widely celebrated. So they have got this thing at work, like, you need to wear a Christmas jumper. A what? A Christmas jumper. A what? So I didn't come wearing a Christmas jumper because I didn't even want to ask what is a jumper. So I was one of the few that didn't wear a Christmas jumper. And I got to and I said, oh, a Christmas jersey. Interesting. What I call a jersey, it's called a jumper. So those are some of the things that extends in terms of, on top of the accents, the vocabulary. So if you're telling somebody in the UK, oh, I like your pants, they'll be like, what? Pants are underpants. So it's one of those things, a school bag. I remember I said to a colleague, oh, you left a school bag. Mawa, your backpack. But I had to learn. But it was so surprised because I actually struggled when I get here in terms of the language. I felt a bit taken aback because I felt like I could articulate myself. I can respond, I can hear, and being a frontline worker, that was a bit challenging because you have to go and work with people, you do assessments. And how do you say to a family member when you're doing an assessment that, sorry, I didn't get to hear that. So I remember going to a meeting, even when now, still to this day, when I go to Scotland, guys, trust me, I still don't have a word. I still don't have an idea what they say. I sit there. And I remember the first time I had to go to Scotland for a meeting. So I was sitting there trying to take notes, and it was just not happening. So at the end, I just said, guys, can I please ask that you email the minutes to me? Because I felt like, there's no way, there's nothing to write in my report because I couldn't hear. Oh, Scotland is the worst for me in terms of accents because, you get people, you get there, you hear no bother. And I'm like, but now it is, I can hear quite a lot. There'll be few that I still miss, but I totally get it now. But arriving here, English was a challenge. It surprised me big time. Number 2, guys, I've got my list down here, so don't be surprised when I look down. Number 2, whoever in South Africa taught us that traffic lights are robots did us great damage. Because there's no robots in the UK. There is traffic lights. And one day, a colleague of mine was asking for directions. The South African be me trying to explain that, oh, okay, no worries. This is how you go. You leave the office, you get there, you get to a point, there is the first set of robots. And my colleague was like, robots? I have never seen robots where you're referring me to. And I repeat myself. And I explain, and I explain. Robots. Eventually, in my mind, I was like, traffic lights. Whoever told us that they are robots, I don't understand to this day why we were taught that traffic lights made it, are robots. Why should that word be popular in South Africa? Because it's really not the right word to use in terms of traffic lights. But anyway, I had to learn. Number 3, guys, circles. You know, when you try and direct somebody, you'll be like, you get a 4-way stop, you turn left and you'll find a circle, you go straight up at the circle. There's no such a thing here. They're called roundabouts. And literally they replace even stop signs, because we don't have stop signs here. We do have roundabouts. You'll be able to explain to the person, take the first exit on the roundabout. But when I arrived, I was like, second exit, and people were like, what is she talking about? But guys, there is no circles, they're roundabouts. So we don't have stop signs. So there's no 4-way stops. You find that it's sort of everywhere. It is roundabouts. So that's point number 3. Point number 4. You're packing your own groceries at the store. Guys, I found it super, super hard. Because in South Africa, you've got your cashier and you're the one that's helping the cashier in packing your groceries. So all you have to do is just unpack them. And then somebody's, as they are tilling them, and the other one is packing them nicely for, your bathroom stuff and your kitchen stuff and your cleaning stuff. You find them in, packed nicely in carry bags. So wake up call. There's nobody to do your own packing. You do your own packing. And you soon realize how bad you are at packing your own groceries, because you just mix everything. You find your dishwashing liquid in your vegetables, because there's a queue and people want to pack. But as you go along, you start mastering it. You've got your trolley there and your bag's already open, so you just pick and pack and pack. So Guys, I've got so much respect now when I go home for the ladies that pack for us, because I now get to understand it's not an easy job. It's really, it's a skill as well, because I still can't pack them nicely. I just shove everything in there, because even if I try, I won't be able to. But I am amazed how they nicely do it, that we get to carry those, carrier bags out and go to, public transport, and they're still nice and intact. But guys, I've got so much respect for them. It's the stuff that I had to learn, and they were very interesting for me to find out. And then at number 5, guys, you put your own petrol in the car. There is no petrol attendant. I learned in the cold winter mornings where you're like getting into the car, you're asking your car, quickly warm up, because and then you don't have petrol. UK showed me flames. You have to stop by the petrol station, and then when you get to the petrol station, what is it that you do? Must get out, take out your petrol nozzle, put it in the car, and then go out and go into the car and inside and go and pay. By the time you are freezing, it is freezing. But guys, big ups. That's why now when I go home, I always, these days, this is what I've learned. I've got to respect that it's a hard job. I can imagine the cold days when it's winter, how, it is just to go out in there and, confidently put a petrol. Mm-hmm. So now I always leave something. I'm like, hi, you buy a cold drink, you buy juice, because I have so much respect for them. I've had to learn. It's not an easy job. We take simple things for granted. But when you sort of like go to other countries, you actually realize this is not easy. Guys, imagine the winter here. So we'll get to the winter. I think at my number 6, guys, we pay for air to put in our tires. While in South Africa, I just stand at the garage. Can you put air in my tires? 2.3. You pay for air and you do it yourself. Imagine me coming here, never having ever to learn put air in tires, because my husband did everything for me. Hey, poor Caroline. But guys, this is what was surprising as well, to come and learn. Listen, you need to put air, you need to pay for it. It's not free. So you have to get you don't even know how to operate the air machine. You're like, and there's no attendant nearby to show you how to do it. You're sort of like hoping, you can see someone pass by. Hi, so can you show me how to do this? Guys, the things we had to learn to do ourselves. Interesting. Number 7, guys, the winter weather. The weather here is cold. My thing is, there is no 4 seasons. I always say they'll be like, it's now spring, it's now autumn. I'm like, where? For me, there's summer, there's winter. Because literally, it is cold for 9 months. I found out that even the coats and the jumpers or jerseys that I bought from home were not warm enough for the winter this side, so I had to invest in a pretty much warmer winter wardrobe, because it was super cold when I arrived. I think over the years, as you get to live here, you get to understand, and your body changes and adapts to the winter weather. Because when I arrived, guys, I would like put layers and layers and layers of clothing because I was freezing. So now, even if it's freezing, I actually realize it's freezing on the outside. But I get out of the house, I get into the car, it's warm. I go into work, I park, I walk a short distance, I'm freezing in that few seconds. I walk into the office, it's warm. And the first thing you do is take off your coat, because it is very warm in the office. So it's sort of like you get to learn how do I dress when I go where. If you're going to church, you're gonna freeze for getting out of the parking into the church building inside is warm. The first thing, everywhere we go, the first thing we do is take off our coats and hang them, because it's really warm. And the coats we wear are so warm that, guys, you will overheat. So you need to take it off. And during winter, guys, by 3:30, it's already dark. Like, I look outside the window, by 3:30, it is so dark. By 5:30, when I leave work, I feel like it's 12 o'clock midnight. The way it is super dark. I'm like, what type of a winter is this? But anyway, those are the things that I had to find out about the weather. It's super cold. Even the coats that I brought, I had to change because they were not warm enough for here. So that's it. Guys, number 8. In South Africa, we get vitamin D without asking for it. Suddenly I come here, I'm begging for vitamin D. Like, somebody, can I please experience the sun? The sun is so scarce in the UK. It is very scarce. And that is the reason why, if the sunshine coming, it makes headlines like, yo, this weekend of this, there'll be sunshine. The way is so scarce. Imagine. Coming into a different country. That's what we get. Sunshine. Making headlines. So, guys, my number 9, summer. Guys, summer here, it's what is winter in South Africa. So the June period, the July period, it's summer here. We've got 16 hours of daylight. You might find yourself struggling to sleep when the sun is still out. I remember when I arrived, where I was staying, my bedroom had blinds. So even if the blinds were closed, guys, 9 o'clock, the sun is still out at night. I'm tossing and turning because there's so much sunlight coming in that I can't sleep. So I eventually just would at night, I bought a sort of like a fleece blanket. So I would go and pack it on the windows because I couldn't sleep because it was just too much sunlight coming through. And it's 9 o'clock at night. So it's only around about 10-ish that it will, start getting dark. So you can imagine we've got 16 hours of daylight, which is quite challenging if you want to decide to sleep at 8 or 9, because listen, your windows will be like, hello. And then sunrise is at 4 a.m. So although you want to go to bed early, it's still too early. Like 9 o'clock, if I walk outside, you would think like it's still morning, but it is really 9 p.m. And then there we go, 4 a.m. sunrise. So you have to invest in sort of like dark shades, like dark curtains, so that you can decide what time is night and what time is it still, do you want to wake up? Because you'll be like 4 a.m. while really still wanting to sleep and you've got like the sunlight coming in. So that's the thing about summer here. Long hours of daylight. Okay. My number 10. Yo, guys. UK people play with time. In winter, they turn the clock backwards, sort of like in October, end of October-ish. Then we are 2 hours behind. I never got this. I remember before I came, one person that I was talking to was like, oh, by the way, UK is 2 hours behind. I was like, no, it is 1 hour behind. So I got here around the 10th or 11th of October. We were still 1 hour behind. Then you'll find there's this big announcement, oh, on this Sunday, the 31st or whatever, clocks are turning backwards. Sorry? What do you mean? Okay. So clocks turn backwards. So the winter period, so from around about October, end of October-ish, we are 2 hours behind. Like at the end of March, they then turn the clock forward so that we are 1 hour behind. But I sort of get the reasoning behind it, because if you look at the winter days, it is really, really dark. So kids would go to school when it is dark. So that's how I got to understand the concept of 9 to 5. Because in the UK, literally, we start work at 9 and then we knock off at 5. So I guess where the concept comes, because I think if they didn't turn the clock back forward, kids have to go to school around about 7-ish, 8-ish. And by 7, guys, it's still super dark. Super pitch black dark. So kids would be working in darkness. So I think there's sort of the rationale in terms of the winter period why they made that decision. Guys, I've got so many surprises. I'll make part 2 video of the things that surprised me in the UK. So for now, I'll do a part 2. Please leave a comment down below if you still want to see videos from me about my life in the UK. Subscribe, hit the notification bell. Watch out for part 2 of the things that I found interesting in the UK. Bye.